And we are back, folks, to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Sega Genesis. There it is, Biliah, Sega Gamer, and we're back. Now, of course, we're in Starlight Zone, which is finally, we got a speedy type zone of a level. And, you know, pretty much in this zone, of course, it's like a second, it's our second city zone, and it's pretty much part 2 of Spring Yard Zone. Except the gimmick here is that we finally get speed! Less processing! And it's probably like my second favorite out of the zone, right next to Scrap Brain Zone and Green Hill Zone. In the order that the game should have been, it should have been, you know, Green Hill, Spring Yard Zone, and Spring Yard Zone and Starlight Zone. So that way people could get more into the game. So by the time they accumulate those skills, they could prepare for themselves from Labyrinth Zone and Marble Zone and whatnot. And whatnot, of course. But yeah, it's the best zone in the game. I really love this zone. So yeah, this is Starlight Zone. It pretty much has tons of blast processing. And the other thing I like about the zone is the music. Just listen to it. I told you, isn't that wonderful music, of course? With Mannix, we have here are Orbinauts, except these Orbinauts don't shoot out their projectiles. So it's going to be a little bit hard to jump on them. And of course, egg bombs, which are pretty much like the bombs of this series, except they don't carry them. We'll be seeing those egg bombs again in Sonic CD, believe it or not, but they're actually much bigger and crap like that. You can build all so much momentum. I do recommend rolling down, like spin into a ball, because he gains so much momentum in this zone, believe it or not. But yet again, there's a, you know, perfect balance of speed, of course. Let me just save right here because, you know, again, if you were playing on the actual Genesis, you have to use your continues. But I just want to keep all my 50 rings. Oh yeah, here's another gimmick. The seesaws, the freaking tethers. You basically jump on the end of the seesaw or tether wire with the spike ball, and pretty much let's just say you bounce higher. I know freaking Sonic Advance will use that theme a lot. Will I do the handheld Sonic games? I don't know, maybe. But I'm definitely not, I'm not sure about the Game Gear games. I have to think about that too. I'm just doing the first game out of the series, of course, because I want to get this out of the way. And here's our last Chaos Emerald. Let me just save right here, because even though the Acid Trip stages are very easy, this is honestly the hardest out of the Acid Trip stages. It's a combination between the 5th, Acid Trip stage, the 5th Chaos Emerald stage, and of course, the 3rd one. So, you know, you have this big space, but it's hard to get the, Chaos Emerald. Well, of course. So I'm just gonna concentrate and shit like that. Again, normally I don't go after the Chaos Emeralds in this game. And there we go! We got all the Chaos Emeralds! Sadly though, they don't do jack shit in this game. Except for giving us a perfect ending, I guess. But they will have more plot development and more gameplay elements in the sequel. And I'll probably show that off. If we get to Sonic 2, of course. You may notice another city in the background. Like I said again, this is pretty much part 2 of whatchamacallit Zone. This is pretty much part 2 of Spring Yard Zone. And you may be wondering if humans do live behind the city. I don't know, maybe they live in the world Mobius? But yet again, the first Sonic game does have a lot of anthropomorphs. But in the 3D games, we will be seeing a lot of humans though. But just not as rarely. Unlike that piece of shit game that shall not be named. I'll get to it when I get to it, of course. But yeah, freaking Starlight Zone shows off the blast processing of what the Sega Genesis could do, but I think the sequels showed that best though. Oh, also on the teeter-totter, if you go on the edge, you get the bounce higher. But that's to build momentum and shit like that. Again, you want to be rolling if you want to gain some serious speed. Well, anyway, here's our third Robotnik battle. You go on these teeter-totters and pretty much use the bombs to either hit Dr. Robotnik or launch yourself in the air. And it only takes about 8 hits. Simple. That's all. That's all, it's just simple. Yeah, he's just using his Eggmobile to shoot out the bombs, of course. And we defeated Robotnik. Stay tuned for the final part as we take on Scrap Brain Zone.